My sister-in-law started hitting me while my husband watched and did nothing. His entire family is taking her side. I escaped there when they were sleeping. I'm going to end things with my husband for not standing up for me. AITA. I, F27, have been living with my partner, Finn M35, since last summer when my lease ended. He has been very supportive throughout challenges in my career, and moving with him helped me save money on a new lease. I just finished my PhD in science and had to stay an additional semester as I'm collaborating for a project. When Finn's lease ended, we decided to settle in the city where my collaboration project will be launched. He asked his family, and they agreed to let us stay for 2 months until we left. Neither of us own furniture or anything since we sold that off. I paid them rent, and so did he. My situation with his family turned bitter pretty fast. I noticed deodorant skid marks on a shirt of mine and also a scent, not sweat, just perfume, that doesn't belong to me on a lace blouse. So somebody had been wearing my clothes. I went to him, and he dismissed it as me exaggerating. Maybe I was wrong, but I said he was enabling his family, and he got very offended. I resorted to putting all my belongings back inside my luggage and locking it, and it never happened again. His sister definitely caused trouble between us. She told him that I looked at her like she was less, and he came to me with that. I find her scary, and I'm non-confrontational, but I can fight back if I have to. After that, I got snide remarks and indirect aggression from mother-in-law and sister-in-law F44. Sister-in-law prides herself on having hit her exes, how she beat her brothers up, how she dragged one woman by the hair back in her 20s. The family acts like she's quite a strong woman, and they treat her like she's all that. What happened last week was horrible, and I ended up crying. So sister-in-law walked into the living room with a very pretty blouse, very similar to one that I own. It wasn't mine. I might have shown a bad facial expression because she confronted me immediately. We had never had a direct confrontation before. She came at me and said I was accusing her of stealing. I was sitting down, and she got into my face and pressed her knees against my legs, and I couldn't move properly. Finn told her to stop but took no real action. So she leaned over, and I pushed her by the chest to keep her away, and she started screaming at me and squaring off. She poked me with her finger, and I freaked out and swung at her and slapped her because she did walk towards me when I got up. I managed to get out of the living room and locked myself in our room. Finn never came to check on me. When I came out hours later, sister-in-law looked like she had been crying. After that, no one has ever said a word to me. Not to scold me and not to comfort me. Finn has not spoken a word, not even when we were alone. He won't answer when I talk to him, and it hurts a lot. I moved with him because I'm broke, and he did me a huge favor. I'm getting my first payment from the research project this week, and that reimburses my own expenses and the money that I put into the project. I do have funds in the bank from my part-time job that I kept until September. I don't feel great about this, but I left while everyone was sleeping. I had promised Finn that I would help him start a business once I started getting my checks. I had confirmation of payment 2 weeks ago, and a new contract cleared. I thought we would enjoy this as a couple, but I think it's a lot to reconsider. I'm very grateful for everything that he's done, but at the same time, he didn't have my back. I don't have a strong frame, and his sister is taller than me. I think I lucked out getting out of that situation, but she could have gone crazy and messed me up. He never got up, and Meal said nothing. I feel lonely and have been crying, and the reason I left is that I don't want to cry in front of them. I know it's petty, but I also don't want to help him because I know he wanted to help his family, and after what happened, I don't want them to benefit from me, even indirectly. I'm staying at a motel. I have enough funds, but Finn doesn't have a job, and I'm literally lurching him. I love him, but I don't want to get into a family like his. On the one hand, I earned this money with my efforts. He was morally supportive, but I paid for my own education. On the other hand, we made plans based on following my career, and I'm making the decision to end things. We never had fights, but he did change sometimes when near his family. I know his sister's actions are her own. Maybe he was in shock. Any advice is helpful. AITA, my girlfriend gets cranky and abuses me every time I wake her up in the morning. I finally had enough and told her I'll not do it anymore. Guess what? She overslept the very next day and got fired. Now she's blaming me and demanding half of my salary. AITA. I, 26M, have been in a relationship with my girlfriend, Jess, 28F, for 3 years. Jess and I live together. Jess is not a morning person. This is primarily due to the fact that she's up until 2 or 3 a.m. every day on her phone despite having to wake up at 8 a.m. I've tried to get her to start going to bed earlier so she could wake up on time, but she says that would leave her no time to do her own things, seeing as she only works until 4 p.m. This is patently false, but I decided not to press the issue. Generally, I have to wake Jess up. I wake up at 5 o'clock, run for an hour, get home at 6 o'clock, shower, eat breakfast, and use my computer a bit. I'll start waking Jess up at around 7:30. I fully understand it's ridiculous to have to wake a 28-year-old woman up, but I honestly don't mind, or at least I wouldn't mind if it weren't for the fact that waking Jess up is a nightmare. I start by gradually turning on the lights at around 7:30, starting with the bedside lamp. Then I begin gently trying to wake her up. If she gets up around this time, she'll go to the bathroom, and then I'll go back to the room to find her asleep again. The worst part about waking her up is she's so ornery in the morning. She'll use expletives directed at me, insult me, and then later when I bring up her words, she'll just say, "I was sleepy and out of it. What do you want me to do?" Well, last Friday she pushed things a bit too far. I was waking Jess up as usual, and when she walked past me to go to the bathroom, she made this exaggerated dry heaving sound at me. Then she said, "You fucking smell. Take a shower." I had already taken a shower and always keep good hygiene. That evening, I told her that our deal with me waking her up every day was done. I was done with her tantrums, done with her insults, and done with her frankly stupid facial expressions with how out of it she was. I told her that I'm not moving a finger to make sure she gets up for work on time. She was naturally upset about this, but I said she could wake herself up. Today was Monday, and lo and behold, she overslept and was over an hour late. Since she had already been written up twice during her probationary period for her job, this was an automatic firing. Around noon, she called me incoherently yelling about how I got her fired. I had to hang up on her to get back to work. When I got home, she immediately started shrieking at me more, and then demanded half my salary until she found a better job. I feel like making her go cold turkey on waking up might have been too sudden, and apparently she really liked the job she had. Should I have at least tried to wake her up? My mom wore a white dress at my baby's funeral after I specifically told her not to. My sister is posting my dead baby's photo all over the internet when I told her not to. I don't want to deal with them anymore and cut them off permanently. AITA. I-24F recently had baby that passed a few months ago. We just had the funeral the other day. I specifically told my mom I wanted my partner and I to be the only ones wearing white and for everyone else to wear the color blue or black. While on a call with my aunt, it slipped out that my mom would be wearing white. I was highly upset because my mom always does stuff like this and likes to be in control, and I'm a very non-confrontational person on a whole, but also because how she acts when I do address her. She also did not come to my gender reveal because she was mad at me and she was the keeper of the gender, and said she would not come unless I apologized to her. The day of the funeral, I sent a reminder to everyone if they didn't have the color blue, please just wear black. My mom responded and said, okay. She still showed up in white despite my wishes. Later on in the day after the funeral, I went to eat with mutual friends and my partner. I went on Snapchat and saw that my sister 18F had posted my son's face. I have no proper pictures of him when he was alive, so I had a photographer come and take photos of him the day before the funeral so that we could have something to place on the funeral monitor and on an easel. My partner and I agreed that we would never post a picture of our baby's face out of respect. When I saw that my sister posted this picture, it had already been up for an hour at this time. I immediately called her and told her to please take down the post. She said she was not home and she was out eating at a restaurant. I checked her location. She was home, so she lied. I called her again and she ignored my call but messaged me to show me that she had taken it down off Snapchat. I lost my composure and I snapped. I said to her, how dare she post my child without my permission? Even I have never posted my child's face out of respect and because I didn't want people to have access to seeing him like that. Between you and Mom, I don't know what is wrong with you guys. She did not respond. I was speaking to one of my friends about the situation and she told me my sister posted it on her Instagram story too. I went to look at her Instagram story but could not find her page. I asked my friend to please send me the screenshot. My sister had blocked me entirely from her Instagram, and she had that post up for longer than the Snapchat one. She had it up for 3 hours. After this, I blocked her. And I called her boyfriend to tell her to please take it down and to never post anything like this again. Please be kind. I cannot handle any rude comments at this time. Would I be wrong to go no contact? Edit 1. Thank you everyone for commenting. I will be trying to answer as much comments as possible, but thank you so much for the comments. I struggle with being confrontational and addressing issues with my family, because the way I've been treated over the years. I just wanted my wishes to be respected. Yes, this might be their grandchild, nephew, and etc., but he is my child first. If I personally haven't posted my son's face on social media, why should anyone else? I respect my son enough not to post his dead body on social media for people to send around, as I am from a small Caribbean country where people love to gossip and send stuff around. Also, for those that think this is fake, I wish it was fake, but this is truly my life. Additionally, the family or the parents of the deceased wearing a different color from the funeral goers is the norm in my small Caribbean country, and probably other Caribbean countries as well.